I was honored today to be at the nomination hearings on Elena Kagan and her nomination to the Supreme Court of the United States. Much of it was predictable. The opening statements of each of the senators on the Judiciary Committee, although we certainly missed the voice of Ted Kennedy, who for over 4 decades was a voice of vision and progressive values on that committee. And then Elena Kagan gave a wonderful opening statement. There were some surprises, though, and one of them was that Elena Kagan clerked for Justice Marshall, Thurgood Marshall, the civil rights icon and an esteemed champion of justice on the Supreme Court of the United States, that his legacy became a subject of some controversy, with some conservatives on the committee accusing her of buying into his view of the Constitution, with other senators, Democratic and Republican alike, defending the extraordinary legacy of Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall's son, Thurgood Marshall Jr. Goody, is a longtime friend of the Religious Action Center and personally, and I had the opportunity to see him, and I pulled him aside to ask him what he thought about this controversy and what he thought of Elena Kagan, with whom we worked closely at the White House. What you see in the video now is his response to those questions.
I'm somewhat taken aback by the constant references, because this is a hearing on Solicitor General Kagan's nomination, but I'm heartened by the various supportive comments about my father's accomplishments, both from Republicans and from Democrats. I think that the comments that are critical of some of his judicial positions are probably simply a function of having lived a very consequential life as a Supreme Court justice. There have been some comments about judicial activism, both with regard to his work and that of others, and that's certainly an indication, I think, of one person's judicial activism being another person's principled constitutional interpretation.
You were at the Clinton White House when Elena Kagan was there?
That's correct.
At the same time?
We worked on a number of issues together.
And just on one foot, what's your take on her as an appropriate nominee to the court?
Well, her legal acumen is just absolutely spotless, and her work for my father reflected that, but also her work at the White House. The fact that she also has a good ear for politics and public opinion, I think, will serve her well, at least in terms of keeping her in touch with the people whose decisions the court, whose lives the court's decisions affect.